Welcome to Blowing Smoke with Twisted Rico. I'm your host, Steve Ricardo, coming to you live from the New Alliance Music and Art Complex in lovely Union Square, Somerville, Mass. And you know what? I really do this, but I'm doing it right now. That intro music for this show, is it you hear every week, is the Charms song So Pretty. One of the cool, I almost said brilliant, but I noticed on my last show I used the word brilliant 37 times. I didn't really count, but I think it was like 37 times. Anyways, that music is the Charms So Pretty, and we love it. I want to welcome a special guest host to the show today, Diya Ghosh. It's actually Diya's second time she was here, but due to Herb BSWTR, our engineer's fatal technical difficulties, I'm only picking on Herb because we have a little surprise involving Herb coming up later in the show. We have to re-record the episode, but we decided to do a completely different episode with a different subject matter, some really different subject matter. And so, welcome, Diya. It's good to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Again.
Again.
And hopefully again and again.
Yeah.
Diya has a really interesting story. She came here from Kolkata. She taught me how to say that properly, in India, as an international art and psychology student to attend Franklin and Marshall College in Lancaster, PA. Now she lives here in the Boston area and has her own art studio. And we actually met at the at one of the New Alliance art functions where I saw your art, I loved it, and we started talking. Yeah. And we became friends. Yeah. So now you're on the show. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for liking my work. It's nice to have it be liked.
Love your work.
Thank you.
And if you're watching on the YouTube channel right now, you can actually see some of Diya's work. She brought some work with her. If you're just listening, you'll just have to imagine how good it is, because it's very good. So why don't you tell us about your whole story and how you got here and the whole 9 yards, how you ended up getting your own studio and all.
So, as you said, I came to the U.S. About 20 years ago as an undergrad student going to Franklin Marshall. I studied psychology and art. And, I've been in and out of the country since. I came back, actually. I left the country, and then I came back to get my master's degree, and I got my master's here at Lesley University.
Lesley?
At Lesley.
Right next to Harvard.
Right next to it.
Right next to the Harvard yard.
Right, but right next to it.
Is there any affiliation between Harvard and Lesley, or they just happen to be brother and sister colleges next to each other?
I think it's like any other place in Boston where there are, two colleges right next to each other. And there's so many, like right in Cambridge, that, yeah.
It's funny because I used to go to this sushi place at the Porter Square.
Yeah,
and
so good.
Lesley has,
right.
In that building.
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly the building. I spent a lot of time there. So I studied art therapy there, and expressive arts therapy there. And I worked as a clinician for a few years. I didn't really like being in the mental health system. I don't think our mental health system really works. So it was really disheartening, and I got burnt out. And so I was home for a while, and I started like living the culture here and learning the culture here. And I live in a town called Needham.
Needham, Massachusetts.
Needham, Massachusetts.
Which is near what?
Needham is like right next to Newton, Wellesley.
Boston College. Is it Boston College in Newton?
It's actually closer to Babson.
Babson?
Yeah. So Babson's right at the end of town, yeah.
There's a few colleges in Boston.
There are lots of colleges in Boston. Yeah, and so I actually stayed on after graduation because I got married and, lived in that little town and then got divorced, and I didn't really want to leave the town because I kind of got used to it, and I kind of had a life there and kind of built a life there. Mm-hmm. And so I opened an art studio there called Tuk Tak Studio.
You have great business cards. I forgot about those, the little square business card.
Yeah.
I wish I had one I could hold up for the video portion of the show, but it's okay.
It's okay.
It's a cool card, trust me.
It's a cool card. Well, check it out on the website or check it out on my Insta.
What is your website? Did you already tell us that?
No. So the website is tuktakstudio.com.
Nice.
And that's also my Instagram handle and my Facebook handle, so you can find me on those. You'll probably find more information on Instagram and Facebook than you will on the website at the moment.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah. That's my story. And now I sort of have this art studio where I am hoping to, I guess, develop culture and teach people both to make art and have it be a part of their lives to actually better your life and to be more integrated in yourself.
You teach too, right?
I do. I teach art. And I also hold, like I do a lot of group artwork. And so I started these beachside conversations actually soon after the race riots started in the U.S. about, a month and a half ago. And so I've been doing those in the backyard, and you can read about those on the website, on the Insta page.
Doing a lot of interesting things.
Yeah, I want to, it's community and culture, and we got to teach people, teach each other, and grow together. And so that's my hope.
I mean, we all met, because of New Alliance.
Yes.
That's how I met Herb,
Yes.
our engineer. That's how Alvin Long and I have been friends for a long time. I've been to 3. I had an office in the original New Alliance building, which was at 1312 Boylston Street in Boston, right near Fenway Park, before the Red Sox bought the whole neighborhood and ripped down the building. But how did you get involved with New Alliance?
A friend of mine actually introduced me. My friend and poet Mustafa Samdani. He actually,
don't ask me to repeat that name.
Mustafa. Yeah.
Mustafa. Didn't Queen have a song? Mustafa.
There was something in there. Yeah. Yeah.
Thought so.
Yeah.
The jazz album.
I couldn't tell you that.
I think it was the jazz album. Mustafa.
I'll trust you. I'll take your word for it.
I don't know if I ever met Mustafa, but now I want to meet him.
He actually moved to Providence, so I haven't seen him in a little.
Providence. Yeah. I'm sorry.
You got to do what you got to do. And so he wanted to move to Rhode Island, so he did. So I don't see him as much as often, but I'm so grateful for him having introduced me to Al. So
did you just show Alvin some of your art, and he said, "You want to do a show?"
Actually,
was this here? Is this Somerville or Cambridge?
It was Cambridge still.
The old Cambridge.
It was Cambridge
location.
still, and actually, Alvin and I actually made art together. We
really?
hung out and made art together in his studio, and that's how we got to know each other, and that's how we got to hang out. So yeah, it's been a few years. Yeah,
I want to make art with you. I'm an artist too. You know that.
I
right?
do know that. I just saw some of your work. Let's do it.
Yeah,
I think we work in similar media anyway.
I've not tried to make art with someone else yet, but I'm game.
Yeah, it's a fun process.
I'm not Alvin Long though. Alvin's on another level.
He's on a different level. He's on a different level.
Yeah, he's the one that holds it all together.
He really does. He really does, and brings us together, actually.
How has the reception been to your art here?
At New Alliance, it's been great. I've gotten lots of feedback, lots of good feedback. Other doors have opened for me thanks to being able to show here. And it was my first show in many, 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 many years. So it was really nice. It
was awesome. I liked it. The one big piece that you had, what was the name of the big piece?
I renamed that so many times.
Well, I liked it.
There was women's education in India.
A lot going on in that piece, man. Yeah. It was just outrageous.
It was my start to my post-colonial rant, if you will. And that's as far as I'm going to go with that here.
So, before we move on to other things and play some music, what do you where you want to go with your art? What are your plans for the future?
I would like to be able to show in other places. I'd like to be able to live as an artist, and work as a living artist, successfully, without having to scrounge. So I want my work to get better. I want to connect with people who are, I like doing collaborations actually. So
art-minded.
Yeah, it's just I love being in this space.
This is a great place for that.
Yeah.
Have you checked out Salem? Because a lot of people tell me Salem's happening for art.
Yeah, I haven't tapped into that network at all. But maybe in time.
I'm sure you will. You're very friendly.
Thank you.
You taught me how to say Kolkata properly. Kolkata. Kolkata's a big city, right?
It's a huge city.
How many people?
16 million.
16 million?
Like, look, I'm going to Google this because I don't want to say this wrong. Hang on.
Is it the largest city in India?
It's not the largest city.
You didn't know
I
was going to ask geographical questions, did you? I'm sorry.
Well, no, it's okay. I did not expect population questions. Yeah.
I didn't either.
No, Bombay, I think, would be...
Bombay.
Bombay would be...
Did they name the gin after Bombay? Is the gin from Bombay? Okay, you're getting ridiculous now, Steve.
You are.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, like we're not partying here. It's like,
Yeah, we're
it's
not.
afternoon time.
We're not,
it's 15 million people.
No, forget it. We're not going to start
15 million people.
Here. How many?
15 million people.
15. See, you knew.
15.
So 15 million is about just almost like LA, really? Wow, that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
Wow. So you said you got one more question about India. You go back and forth. Do you still do that a lot now?
I do. I mean, well, COVID has sort of changed things. So I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to be doing this. But actually, I was setting myself up right before COVID. I was setting myself up to be able to work here for 2 months and work in India for 2 months and go back and forth. So I could be closer to family and, be with family.
Cool.
A little bit more often, yeah.
All right, we're going to play a song right now. It's a song by Jeddo Stars called 3D, and then we're going to come back and we're going to change the subject. We're going to veer off into another topic. Jeddo Stars 3D.
I know you got my pictures on your telephone. Oh, I know that you look at them when you're all alone. Oh, I'm telling you, I'm better. I'm better. 1, 2, 3, 3D. 1, 2, 3.
That was Jeddo Stars doing 3D from their album Pop Rocks. We've got some interesting topics going on here today that we don't usually do. As far as we usually stick to music, but we're veering off a little bit because we have Diyas as our guest, and we're going to talk about We're going to talk about a topic I didn't think I would be talking about on this show, but you're the reason why we're talking about it. And I have a little surprise for everyone. We're going to turn on a third microphone right now, and we're going to welcome our very famous engineer, Dorchester's own Herb BSWTR to the podcast, mainly because I understand that Herb might have a little more expertise in online dating than I do. So at least I have two experts here on online dating. And this is what happened, okay? Diya and I were talking one day, and she told me that she was on this site called Bumble. Okay, I never heard of it, okay? The only online dating site I ever got on was Tinder, and I never had a date, okay? I didn't try to get a date. I wasn't about to pay the extra money. I just basically checked out, you know, the people on the site. I'm not just going to say the girls because, you know, I was checking out whoever ended up on my page. Yeah. And, you know, but I never used the site. And then when I did find someone I was interested in and I tried to get in touch, they were like, well, now you got to pay the $29 extra. And I'm like, not going to do that because I don't think I'm going to end up going out on a date. But when Diya told me about Bumble, I did something I never thought I would do again. I set up a Bumble profile for myself. Ooh. And Herb, are you on Bumble, Herb?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, Steve. This is a pleasure to be part of the Blowing Smoke with Twisted Rico podcast and radio program. Second, yes, I have been on Bumble. Bumble is a great site. Very respectful towards women there, and I think I had a really good experience with it as well.
So you've had some dates through Bumble?
No, never, not one.
Okay, maybe we should let. Okay, I think Diya.
What are you on, Herb?
What is he on?
Yeah, no. What
am I on? No, wait, that's a loaded question.
That's a loaded question. No, fair. No. What sites are you on?
What site am I on? Yeah. I am on Tinder, of course. OkCupid. And I dabble every once in a while in Facebook dating as well.
Ooh.
Facebook dating?
I've heard that. Dating. I've heard good things about Facebook dating, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Facebook has a dating site?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a dating tab there. You can.
Oh boy!
And the good thing is that it won't. The good thing about Facebook dating is that it won't connect. I mean, it won't try to connect you with anyone that you're friends with, but it will try to connect you with people that are friends of friends.
Friends of friends.
Okay, so do you have to actually sign up for the dating portion? Because I've had some people reach out to me on Facebook that weren't reaching out because they wanted to be friends. They're reaching out for other reasons, and I usually just block them because I don't know what their deal is. You know, is that because of Facebook dating that happens?
No, you actually have to go into the dating part of the dating tab of Facebook and set it up like you make it so that they could show your profile and that people could get in contact with you through it. If you haven't done that, then it's not going to activate on its own.
Okay, I haven't done that. Okay. So Diya, you've actually used Bumble.
I've used Bumble.
Have you gone out on any dates?
I've gone out on a few dates.
You have?
I have.
Good dates.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about these dates? This is pre-COVID, I'm assuming.
This is pre-COVID. And so I hadn't dated in, I don't know, like 15 years. So I kind of was rusty and didn't know what to do. And one of my friends was like, it's time. You need to start dating. And so she made me a profile, so I didn't even make my own profile.
Wait a minute. Did you say you hadn't dated in 15 years?
Yeah, I was married.
Oh, that would make sense.
Yeah, I was married.
If you were having dates while you were married, well, that's a whole nother show.
That's a whole nother show.
So you went on 3, you said?
I went out on 3 dates. Yes, you remember well, Steve.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how much detail I can get into.
Well, let me do the detailing then.
Okay, because I do know you did go into detail with me, but I'm not going to go there. I'm going to let you go there.
Right.
Tell us about these dates.
So, what I liked about Bumble was being a female. Like I don't like being commodified, and so it was an easier way to do it. I'm in control of who I talk to. I'm in control of like when I reach out and all of those things. well, once you start the conversations, it goes back and forth, and then I'm sort of looking. So there were people on there who like messaged me incessantly, like the first couple of days, and I was like, listen. And this one guy like messaged, I don't like maybe 5 times a day.
Look, I apologize for that profusely. I'm so sorry.
Thanks, Herb. Thanks.
Wait a minute, was it you, Herb, that messaged her profusely?
No.
Or what was that word you used? Commoditize?
Commoditized. Like I don't want to be. I don't want to be a commodity. Like I don't.
Yeah. You don't want to. Yeah.
Right. I don't want to be a thing. I don't want to be a thing to be looked at. And so like I kind of went with Bumble. So that guy. I told him, I was like, listen, this is just never going to work. He's like, why not? And I'm like, listen, I'm already annoyed with you for messaging me so many times. Like, you will just irritate me. So it was really freeing to be able to date like that, actually. I really, like, appreciate that.
So the women control the site.
Right.
Okay, so I haven't done anything yet with my Bumble account, except I will tell you one thing I did. I went on there. Please don't take this the wrong way, you guys or anyone else that's listening out there. I know Herb's going to give me a hard time about this, but I was getting a lot of women that were around my age, and I was going to the left a lot because I guess I was feeling like I wanted to do something younger. So I wrote them and I said, what can I do to set up my site so I can see people that just aren't my age? I want to get some younger, and they did write me back and explain to me how to do it. I haven't done it yet, and I'm not even going to promise. Don't ask me every week, Herb. I'm not going to promise that I'm actually going to go on any dates on Bumble. The only reason why I got on this site is because Diya told me about it, and I was curious. You know what I like about it is they do give you a lot of info.
They give you a lot of
info. And political preference is an important one.
Yes, so important.
Also, OK Cupid does the same thing as well. There's like an immense questionnaire that you could just go and spend hours just answering questions, and the more time you put into those, the easier they'll give you a percentage of people you might match with.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
I know you might think that political preference is not a big deal, but it is a big deal for some people because...
Depending on what you're looking for.
How do I explain this? For some reason, I'm very liberal, as many people that listen to the show know, and I attract a lot of very conservative women, and I can't figure out for the life of me.
Opposites attract.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Opposites attract, baby.
It's funny how these guys are telling the old guy over here about dating, but... But it's true, and I don't really want to have to go out with someone and have them tell me that they, George Bush is my idol, and I'd be like,
right.
Would you rather go out with somebody who's super conservative but young, or someone who's super liberal and your age? It's the thing.
Okay, I'm supposed to be the one asking the questions here.
That's a great question.
I'm the host of the show, and I'm not going to even answer that question because I don't even know how to answer it. Because
getting you thinking.
There's a lot of people out there that are probably going to say, "Come on, man, politics is how you determine who you want to go out with." That's not true. That's not what I'm saying. I just think that it's okay. It's important to know that. Just like you want to know whether they smoke, whether they drink, whether they like one-night stands or whatever. You want to know a lot of different things.
Right.
I'm not that concerned with like body weight and are you athletic or fit or these other stupid things, because I think once you grow older in life, you realize that you can't judge a book by the cover. You have to go a lot deeper than the cover. Am I saying all the right things now, dear?
You are.
I'm trying to.
And this is why the political views are so important, like having that conversation, being able to, like, if you actually are dating to if you're dating to actually date someone and meet someone special, then you're wanting to know a little bit more. You want
to start off a good conversation, have a last good conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The 3 dates that you went on, anything come of those dates?
Were all 3 with the same person?
No.
Oh.
There were 3 different people.
Yes.
Were they all around your age? I mean, how did you pick your criteria?
So I thought about, what kind of age group of people like I enjoyed being around and being with, and so it's a little bit younger than I would typically go to. So I choose guys between 35 and 40.
Ow.
Wait a second, that's older than you, though.
No, how old do you think I am? Let's do it, Steve.
Oh,
How old do you think
whoa,
I am?
whoa,
Let's do
whoa.
it. Let's do
Whoa.
it, Steve.
I thought you were in like maybe 32 at the most.
I was going to say 29.
Ooh, thank you. Thank you.
That's it. This is your first time as a guest on my show and your last time as a guest on my show.
It's like Jeopardy or whatever, dude. Just go a couple.
I wanted to say younger. Okay, I'm sorry. You look 28.
Thank you. I am happily and proudly 39.
Wow. I think the video portion of our show is going to have booming ratings from here on in. The ratings are going to go sky high. And I don't think there's a camera pointing at Herb. So if you're watching this on YouTube, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to get to see Herb, but I'll post a photo of him or something.
Yeah, that sounds
Herb
like
wants to
fun.
change the subject. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So those 3 dates, was Bumble accurate in representing the people that you met?
Good question.
That was a great question, actually. So the first one, no. The first date off the bat was no, but by the third person I dated, it was a person I actually matched, like mentally we matched creatively, in our interests and all of those things. And so we actually dated for about a month.
Wow.
Yeah, it was nice. It was fun.
And
This was actually in India, so I was dating.
Oh, that was in India?
That was in India. So I haven't actually. So when I've tried Bumble here, I haven't found the right fit yet. Like I haven't found the right person. Do
you think I should try and get girls in India when I try to get dates?
Yeah, you might have to be there though. Like that's how the algorithms work. Right now it's kind of hard to do.
I'm living in Worcester right now, and I don't really want.
That's rough.
But I got to tell you guys something. Just changing the subject real quick. I got woken up at 11:45 last night. 9 gunshots right across the street at the house. And the 2 cars in a house got hit with 9 gunshots.
That's crazy.
There were so many cops outside my window. I was like, I'm not going out there. And I found out this morning that someone drove by.
Oh, my God.
9 shots.
Huh.
I'm sorry. I just ruined the whole show.
No, that's a whole nother conversation you're starting up.
I had to bring it up because I brought up Worcester.
Definitely something I would be against if I ran into on Bumble.
What?
Gunshots.
You're gonna laugh when I tell you this, but I if people post pictures of themselves holding guns on Instagram and Facebook, I unfriend them and unfollow them. Yeah. I do. And the N-word too. I don't like that either. So those are my 2 things that I don't want to hear or see. Well, there's others too. But those 2 things I've actually gotten rid of people. So I'll never date anyone. Imagine Steve matches up with a woman and she's got a gun in her hand, and like, no, it's not going to happen.
Imagine like me, like dating a guy with a gun in his hand. Like that's just never going to happen either.
Thank you.
Just too, yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, going to a shooting range might be a good date, guys. Come on,
but that's different. But that's a conversation that you have, and go on a date together. Like maybe that's a second date, maybe not a first date. That's really political.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah, I'm not really gonna date anyone that has guns. I'm not gonna go to a gun range. Shooting range, or whatever they call them.
I've been curious about it. I don't understand the obsession, so I've just been a little curious about going to a gun range at least once. I have friends who do own guns, but and had been passed.
When I heard those, I knew they weren't firecrackers. When I heard that, I'm like, something sounded a little different about that. And then 5 minutes later, there were cops everywhere, so I knew something was different. Before we move on here, do you have any suggestions for me? I'll ask you too, Herb. I'll ask you both. Do you have any suggestions for me as I enter my new phase of life on an online dating site, Bumble?
Yeah.
Herb
absolutely.
raised his hand.
Yeah, absolutely, Herb.
I would say, be yourself, Steve, because we all see how great of a person you are, and I think I think ultimately you are a catch. And
Really?
Yeah, and if you just be yourself online, use proper what's that thing when you write things right? Proper
Etiquette?
Grammar.
Yeah.
When you use proper
Grammar.
Grammar?
Yeah.
Pretty
proper
good with my
grammar.
grammar, I think.
Then and take sexy pictures with your shirt off. You'll be fine.
I'm not taking
No,
any
don't
Do it,
sexy
dude.
pictures.
Yo, trust me, dude.
No, I'm not taking.
Dude, be
I'm gonna say
honest.
no about that.
Thank
Be
you,
honest.
because I'm on the COVID diet right now, so I need to drop about 15 pounds before I take my shirt off. Even if I go on a date, I'm going to be a little hesitant to take my shirt off.
I feel like Herb has an experience here that he needs to tell us about.
Oh God! Every show with this. No, I'm not. I'm sorry.
So you're not going to tell us about any of your dates?
Yeah.
I've had several very very fun dates. But certain things just don't seem to work out, and for long term, I mean, long term dating has not happened in a while.
By long term, do you mean like an entire night?
No, by long term, I mean
Standard, Steve.
Yeah, Jesus. By long term,
That's
I mean
standard that you spend the night when you go on a date on a
standards.
standards.
Yeah, like you can't expect to be dating forever and then go in with the mindset that you're gonna try and just get through the night. Like that doesn't work.
Yeah, like I haven't met anybody that like you know what, dude? Okay, Cupid, I've had a couple dates off of. I've never had a date off of like Tinder, or I never had a date off of Bumble. I met a couple cool nerds off of it, and but like I have I haven't.
I was just
seriously
joking
dating in
about
a
the
while.
night thing.
Yeah.
I don't plan on you going. I don't plan on
Well,
finding
no.
someone that I'm going to spend the night with.
A gentleman never tells.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
I think that's like the
Okay,
expression goes.
okay.
I can't remember.
Maybe we need
that is exactly how it
maybe
goes.
we need the ladies' advice, because your advice is good, but I'd like to hear Dia's
Shirtless
advice.
shirtless pictures,
no,
bro.
No,
you got
no,
this.
No,
So I think actually Herb's right on the money here. Like you should.
about the shirtless pictures.
Yes. See.
You want to take your clothes off on it, don't you, Steve? No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, no, I think to be yourself. I think, like, that's what I actually really liked about Bumble, and, like, the people that I actually chose and swiped right on were people who were being honest about who they were. And so their pictures weren't all shirtless, and they weren't, all really nice pictures. There were some that were just, interesting pictures of, like, interesting places or friends they were with or activities they were doing that they enjoyed. Like, I want to know as much as I can before I go in. Like, that's like before I go in and message someone, like
I can't
it's a
promise
safety
you I'm
thing.
going to actually go on a date, but I did join the site because of you, Dia. So
I think you should go on a
We'll
date,
see
Steve.
what
I
happens.
think you need to go on a date, Steve.
Yes.
Go on a date, Steve.
yeah, I'll
Go on a
report
date,
to you
Steve.
guys once I do.
Yes.
How's that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Herb, for turning your mic on. It meant a lot for me that you were actually on the show.
Steve, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure to be part of the Blowing Smoke with Twisted Rico podcast
It's
and
an
radio
honor.
program.
Although, speaking of ladies and dating, all the ladies asked me about Herb. So now, we got Herb's voice.
He's a good-looking man.
The voice.
Yeah, right.
He's not on the camera, but
He's a
his
good-looking man.
Yeah, he's.
They're like asking how do we stay away from that guy?
I thought you just gave advice to be yourself. Like, what is this?
Yeah, but sometimes myself doesn't take a shower for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay, now he's losing the ladies. All right, well, okay, sorry. I'd love
Shower
to
for your
talk.
dates, Herb.
I'd love to talk about this all day, but I got to do a little business now. Okay, we got to get back on the program here because we slipped
on.
into Herb world. We're going to talk about our sponsor, Baby Loves Tacos, out of Pittsburgh, PA. My good friend Zach Shell, who owns and operates Baby Loves Tacos, sent over some nice copy, which I'm going to share with you right now. And this is the words of Zach. The team at Baby Loves Tacos is ready to serve you, masked, sanitized, and ready to slay fascists. Our contact-less walk-up ordering and web ordering is just what the doctors and nurses ordered. Literally. You can order at babylovestacos.square.site. We have been digging in and rallying to support and donate 400 meals a month to a local Pittsburgh women's shelter. If you want to support the initiative, you can purchase a Pay It Forward meal on our website. Also, vote. Let's hit the eject button on the orange Muppet and start building a better world. Those are Zach's words. Of course, we second that. Baby Loves Tacos has 2 Pittsburgh locations. The original spot at 4508 Liberty Ave in Bloomfield. That's in the Little Italy section of Pittsburgh. And the newer Baby Loves Tacos location at 524 Grant Ave in Millville, which is just over the 40th Street Bridge. If anyone is visiting Pittsburgh, or if you're in Pittsburgh, you want some amazing tacos, burritos, etc., check out Baby Loves Tacos. Say hi to Zach, Kat, Kaz, John. Tell them Twisted Rico sent you. Also, if you're in a band and you want to play in front of the Bloomfield location, drop me a line and I'll put you in touch with John Sandy, the very handsome John Sandy, if I might mention. I miss John, who reached out to me about having bands play. Dia.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, you would love their food.
That sounds great.
Are you vegan?
At the moment, yes.
Yeah, they do a lot of good vegan options there too. I'm a vegetarian, a pescatarian, I guess you would call me. Nice. But they have mushrooms and cauliflower, zucchini, buffalo cauliflower, zucchini. Nice. Some really good options.
Nice. Sounds yummy.
Thank you, Herb. Not just for being our engineer today, but for joining the podcast. And I also want to thank you, Dia. Sorry. I hope that you come back again because we love having you here.
Thank you for having me, Steve. I've enjoyed it.
I have a feeling you might have your own podcast soon enough. Your ratings are going to outdo me. So thank you for helping get my ratings up, especially on YouTube. When they see you, they're going to be like, ay caramba.
Steve.
I want to thank I told you I'm a flirt. What do you expect? It doesn't matter. My glasses are broke. They're probably all bent right now. I sat on them or something. So forgive me if you're looking at my crooked glasses. Thank you to all our patrons.
You're so self-conscious there, Steve.
Yeah, it happens. I don't know how I'm going to do a dating site, but I'm going to try. I want to thank Kevin, Ellie, Maria, Chris W., Heather, Sue, Matt, Chris P., Dave, Brian, Benjamin Lee, Chad, Christopher, and Kim for supporting our podcast at patreon.com/Twisted Rico. Please contact me at twistedrico@gmail.com. You can follow the page at Instagram at Twisted Rico, or on Twitter at Blowing Smoke BS. There's also a Blowing Smoke Twisted Rico Facebook page, and you can find some of our shows on YouTube as well. Dia, one more time, give your information where people can reach you.
You can find me on Facebook or on Instagram at handles TUKTAK Studio, and that's my website as well, www.tuktakstudio.com.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
This is Blowing Smoke with Twisted Rico. I'm your host, Steve Ricardo. Till the next time we say goodbye, keep the rock and roll alive. We love you, Busy Phillips.